Hi everyone, another month is almost over, so it's time for a roundup of the best games from the previous month. March was full of interesting games, and you can check out what was coming out in my video about upcoming games of March, but today we've got a different job. In just a second I will show you the best reviewed games of March, listed based on Steam reviews, and you know what? We've got some really great games. I think April has one of the most and best reviewed games I've covered since I started making these videos. So yeah, grab your snacks and drinks and let me show you what we've got in store. Let's start the list with this very intriguing title, which is an FPS/mecha hybrid Europolis sim with a high emphasis on interacting with NPCs and different gameplay systems. This game starts the list with very strong numbers, almost 1.5k reviews, 89% of which are positive, giving it a very positive score. Even though this one looks a bit harsh aesthetically, it has kind of old school vibes. Brutal and unforgiving, yeah. Mechanics aren't explained. There are enemies everywhere, behind every corner, and the places you go are really dangerous, so it leans a bit into the Souls-like side with its unforgiving war design. The gameplay is a mix of exploration, detective mystery, and RPG elements. There is high-intensity FPS combat and the ability to operate the V-Stalker mecha unit. Sounds like a lot, right? There is an open world with a variety of different goals to achieve, different weapons, customization, a non-linear world, and many more features. There are lots of really positive opinions about this game, and it's often compared to Cruelty Squad, a game from the same developer, but keep in mind, if you recognize the title, it's not as similar as you might think. Anyway, it's a good game, unless you get a headache and need to take a break, but even if you do, it's worth it. Nordhold is another interesting title with over 1.5k reviews and a very positive score of 90% that merges tower defense and city building with roguelite elements. I covered it in my previous video about upcoming games in March, which I highly suggest you watch as there were lots of great games. Nordhold is a game that lets you build a city on the back of a tower defense line, which you have to defend. Yeah, you defend your city gates by constructing and upgrading towers, and the upgrade system is fun, with lots of stats to enhance, combine their powers to create interesting synergies, and then build your settlement, in which you will gather resources, research technologies, and so on. Of course, as it is a roguelite game, you will progress through your defeats and play again and again, getting stronger with each death. That's pretty much it. There is also a demo available, so give it a try. I had a blast. Zombieville USA 3D is a stylized arcade shooter combining retro gameplay with strikingly polished visuals. It has an overwhelmingly positive score of 95% and over 1.5k reviews. This is a typical arcade shooter with modern visuals and a light-hearted approach. You can play this game with your friends and have a lot of fun. It's really simple. You spawn in a random location, pick up weapons, boost your stats, and try to survive as long as you can. You will collect money, buy upgrades, unlock new characters, and just have fun. There are 39 weapons to unlock, 28 perks to level up, scaling difficulty, and many more features. This game is really simple, and you know what? We also need games like this, to just sit down and shoot some zombies. I must also say it gives me some Plants vs Zombies vibes in terms of aesthetics, and it brings back so many good memories. That's Not My Neighbor is a game you may already recognize, and it was available earlier but not through Steam. This one also has a very positive score of 84% and almost 1,600 reviews. This is your Papers, Please type of game, where you are the doorman of an apartment complex and there are lots of doppelgangers roaming around for some reason. Your job is to verify each individual waiting to get into the complex and decide whether to let in those who claim to be your neighbors. There are lots of grotesque creatures that will try to get in, and you have the tools and your brain to see through their intentions. You will decide if it's okay to let them in, send them back where they came from, or capture them for extraction. This game is a lot of fun, and if you've played Papers, Please, for example, you will definitely enjoy it. Spilled is a really short game about water cleaning, and it has over 1,800 reviews, 95% of which are positive, giving it an overwhelmingly positive score. Yes, this cozy and beautiful game lets you take a stroll around 8 different areas and clean up ocean waste. There is no rush, so you can take as long as you want. Clean up the areas, earn coins, upgrade your boat, get a bigger tank, and move to the next area. Each one presents a new challenge, like lots of plastic or spilled oil that you need to clean up. Find and rescue animals and explore new biomes. This game is really simple. It looks simple, and to be honest, it is. It's not challenging nor full of action, but that's the beauty of it. I think this list needs something relaxing and cozy, and this title is perfect. Cataclismo is another great game this month. Published by Hooded Horse, it's a base building RTS where you build a fortress to stand against endless hordes of horrors. This game is actually amazing. It has over 3k reviews, 91% of which are positive, giving it a very positive score. It's like the good old Stronghold merged with the Billions, where you will build a city, a wall around it basically, and try to survive. The building system is highly modular, and you will be able to design your fortress however you like, one piece at a time. There are different materials to use as your main resources, stone, wood, and so on. You have to manage them, build quarries to get stone, and adapt your fortress to its growing needs as you acquire new tools and expand. You also have to sustain a powerful defensive force, so even the placement of your warehouses is important. You will lead an army of soldiers to defend your walls, strategically defeat enemies and make use of good tactics to get an advantage. Build vital structures to sustain defenses like resource gathering outposts and many more. This game is amazing, and it offers great gameplay modes like a classic campaign, skirmish mode, and even a challenge mode. If you want to play something challenging and enjoy tower defense and horde survival gameplay, then this one is a great pick. This game is your typical vampire survivor style, but with a lot of new elements. I've only played a bit so far, so there is still a lot for me to discover, but from what I've seen, I think it's one of the best reverse bullet hells or bullet heaven games at the moment. Rogue Genesia has a very positive score of 91% with almost 7k reviews, and that's a lot. Of course, this game was available to play a bit earlier, and now it got fully released. It's like playing Vampire Survivors combined with the Slay the Spire map movement system. You start by picking your mode and jumping into the game. You will go through challenges, fight hordes of monsters, gather and upgrade your items, and choose the path you want to take. You can decide whether to face another encounter, participate in an event, like defending someone, raid goblins, or simply pick up treasure or buy items from a merchant before moving on. After completing these challenges, you will return to the menu, upgrade your stats, and advance to higher difficulties with different challenges and other stuff. Aesthetically, the game looks great, and I really appreciate keeping everything in the fantasy medieval style. The addition of mechanics from other games like map movement and character dashes is a fantastic idea. Sultan's game is something I previously covered in one of my videos, and this one is truly unique. With over 11k reviews, it has a very positive score of 92%, making it one of the 3 best reviewed games of this month. It's a narrative card-based simulation where we as ministers must play the Sultan's game. Not only do we have to survive the game, but we also have to endure its consequences. The game revolves around cards. We draw 1 of 4 cards and must complete the challenge within 7 days. If we fail, we face execution. Each card presents different objectives. One may push us into a pursuit of carnal pleasures, while another might send us on perilous adventures, and so on. It's up to us to figure out how to complete these challenges while dealing with the fallout of our actions. This game looks fantastic, offering the choice to either plot to end the Sultan's tyranny or simply do whatever it takes to survive. With plenty of cards, intrigues, choices and stories to uncover, this title offers really something amazing. Now this one is, well, you'll see. Ina Dream Barbecue is a fresh game with a bit over 90k reviews and an overwhelmingly positive score of 98%. And it's like a fever dream, like really, if you ever dreamed about some random stuff, this is it. You play as Ina, as she searches for the boss that everyone wants to be. You will explore strange worlds, take on side gigs, meet various characters, and experience the most chaotic journey of your life. Anything can happen in this game, like in your dreams, and you probably won't know what's happening or what's going on through the majority of it. The characters are fun to talk to though, there's a lot of detail put in the game and the difficulty level is good. Platforming may seem a bit strange, but it's okay. Well, this game is something. It's a lot of fun. The achievements are hidden, so if you like the challenge, it's worth taking some time to complete it. But overall, it's a very unique and fun experience that is worth your time. And it's free, so yeah. And before we jump to spot number 1, I've prepared 5 additional games as honorable mentions. And last but not least, we've got Schedule 1 with a whopping 140k reviews and an overwhelmingly positive score of 98%. This game conquered this month, leaving nothing but dust behind. You are a small-time drug dealer with no cash, no product and no connections. Your job is to build your drug empire from the ground up and contend against law enforcement and deadly cartels. So there you go, your little Heisenberg. Produce a range of drugs to satisfy customers, each one with its own unique production process. Discover special recipes, walk, skate or drive through town and find customers, expand and purchase new properties, hire employees and deal with the dangers this world throws at you. You can, of course, also play this game in co-op mode. This game is sick, there's tons of fun stuff to do and it's cheap as hell. I recently finally finished watching Breaking Bad, so I am in the mood to play this game. And I must say, even though it looks really simple, it's one hell of a fun time. And that's everything I prepared for you today. I hope you liked this video and maybe found some great new games to play. Remember to leave a like, subscribe and tell me in the comments which game from this list is your favorite. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you next week. Bye.